Welcome to the world of Oracom Group, the powerhouse of 14 exceptional brands.
Thank you. My name is James Turuthi. I'm a KENIC board member, and I'm also the Chief Operations Officer for Frontier Optical Networks. Thank you all. I'll invite my panel and give them a chance to each introduce themselves. Alphonse, we'll start with you, and tell us a little bit about yourselves before we go to the panel discussions. Welcome. Is it on, or do you want to take mine?
Hello and good morning. Good morning, everyone. So my name is Alphonce Juma. I'm the CEO and the founder of Oracom Group. What we do at Oracom is we run a campaign called Digitally Fit, so where we help companies to go online and become digitally fit. Currently, we are working with KENIC and helping individuals have their own .ke domains and building for them what we call personal profiles. So I know I'll be able to talk about it later. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Trudy. Good morning, everybody. My name is Davis Soidaka. Here at KENIC, I'm a director, I sit on the board in charge of marketing, but my 8 to 5 is CEO Elimo Holdings.
Good morning. My name is Viona Wairemo. I'm the digital marketer at Host Africa.
Good morning. My name is Barak Otieno. I'm passionate about the role of internet in social and economic development. I do this by supporting many organizations, so many activities, chief among them Africa Top Level Domains Organization.
I think for me, especially on the point you're talking about, in around 2014, we started a search engine. We wanted to build something like Google. It's live, is keonline.biz. Then we asked people to list businesses or to refer any businesses that they have. And we said we are helping them to go online and become digitally fit. So there was a lot of confusions. When somebody thinks about going online, is about getting the internet. So I think it's something that we really need to look into. Currently, what we are doing on that side is looking at every business and starting from the basics. So when you want to go online, what do you need? Apart from having going online, having the internet, what else do you need? And you find that the first thing somebody needs when they want to go online is to have a domain. So the identification of the right domain and making them know that this is the only identifier that really identifies you amongst your competitors while you're on the internet is a very crucial thing. Yeah.
Barak and Alphonse, Davis has mentioned challenges, and you two are in touch with successful entrepreneurs who have overcome some of these hurdles in terms of domain investment. Give us some highlights in terms of overcoming these big challenges.
Yeah. So first, I think to overcome this, I think there needs to be education. Because just like you realize the speaker for today, that's the cabinet, the secretary to the cabinet, she went for a .com. But you realize that actually, according to what should be happening is that our top leadership, they should be promoting. They should be more patriotic to our own domains. So I should start by going online with the domains for my country. So recently, I think the biggest thing that then needs to happen is that we need to start from the top. Every person from the top management, the president, the deputy president, all the cabinet secretaries, and with the new list as well, they all go .ke. So that kind of giving the right knowledge so that people can identify the right domain. But again, the challenge comes in where I decide to go online and I find maybe my domain is already taken or somebody else has reserved it. So you go with your name and you find that your domain name is already taken. So if we can have people think about their brands as they go online, pick their domains in time, and then have them reserved across. There are some people who always, when they think about the domain, best practice is I would take, for example, myself, I have alphonsejuma.me.ke, by the way, is the domain, my domain with my own website. I know also CEO as is, mwanyota.me.ke, which we built. Having such kind of a domain and then moving on to reserve the rest and then making it even more beautiful, referring all of them to your .ke, it makes you more patriotic. The other thing is you realize especially during this time when there were the Gen Z demonstrations, we had so many people asking very hard questions to our leadership. Where can we find your profiles, or where can we find what you do? If you are my MP, for example, what have you been able to do? Or else you're not working. Tutaanguka nayo. So the issues of domains then become very important because it's the only place where they can profile what they do. Yeah.
As we get close, I'd like to give Alphonse also a chance in terms of collaboration with the stakeholders and fostering a more robust domain investment ecosystem. But feel free to add to it.
Yeah, thank you. Just to pick from where Mr. Davis has talked about the elephant. The honest thing is that the number of businesses in this day and age are so many. And especially after the COVID-19, there are so many people who saw it as a reality to just take their businesses online. Well, it's true that many businesses also went down and they could not manage, but businesses that embraced the digital space then got it as a very big opportunity. Now, talking about the collaborations and partnerships, I want to start by giving my own story. There was a time when I was just starting the company from campus, and then there was a diaspora conference. I decided to go into that conference. Of course, whenever you are with the diaspora people, they're always so enthusiastic about the country. They always talk about the country. I hope you guys can relate to just the concluded Olympics, I was watching it from just a public place, and then you see how Kenyans celebrate. So there's always that sense of being patriotic. And, when it comes to now the topic for today, then that's a very big partnership because every diaspora person wants to have something that at least points their route back to home, which is our country. And for this field now is the .ke. Then also, apart from that, just on collaborations, something recently happened when we hosted the CEO for Kenik at our event called Digitally Fit Awards, where we had brought together CEOs of companies. And as he talked about, like he talks about the chief evangelist, that day he like attained that slogan. People are wondering, this chief evangelist, it's more like praise the Lord. Yeah, I'm the chief evangelist. So he really talked about the domain issue. Like he talked about it so passionately, how every person needs to get their own domain. And then on the same floor, one of the speakers was the Engineers Board of Kenya, the CEO, that's Margaret. And then she talked about the number of engineers in the country, and she said there are over 25,000 engineers in the country. And for her, it was about how then can we collaborate? How then can we have every engineer go online, have their own .ke domains? If you look at that sector alone, it's already a very big thing. Now, when you look at other sectors, like the organ that registers companies, that every time, right now, for you to submit your tenders for certain, for government portals, then at least you need to have a domain name. Then you realize even the opportunities are even bigger with that. Now, when in the country, everyone is talking about being digital, and even in summits like this, I think the biggest asset that we need to look at as people in the domain space is to create those collaborations or open up those channels where it's still a win-win, like Davis has said. Because if you look at, for example, like he's in the school space, and then he moves to a school. Definitely there are some schools, it's good you try to separate them. Public schools would not see, especially those ones in my village, they can't see the reason for having a domain. But how about if they go online and they have it, then you see they'll see you as a person who is adding value to their school. Why? Because now they don't need to struggle with people who are signing up who are joining their courses. So at the end of it, you've given them more value. Now to come to an end, there is something we've done at our website. We call it the Google though. What we decided to do is to bring Kenyan businesses together, and then we decided to look at what are these 50 things that a company really needs for them to go online, and how would a company self-test? Like, how can I audit myself? Like in your business, if you have a business in, let's say, Kakamega in the town, and you want to say, well, my business is in Kakamega, but how can I just make sure that it's the level? How can I make sure that it's online and it gets the right thing? So we could ask them the 50 questions. The first one was about the domain, having the right logo. And then you realize we did this in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania. We realized that it's so big, like even simple things like getting a domain, getting a logo, getting a website. They may be simple to us techies here, but that is a bit of jargon for majority of the people. What we end up finding there every day as we run, as businesses log in, create their accounts on keonline.biz, and then start taking that test, taking 50 questions. And then in between, even we ask them about the call to action, how they would be able to convert their customers. Then you realize that it can be simple to talk about a domain, but for the general user outside, these things are more like technical jargons to them. So I think it's a very big thing that we all have, and this field is also so big. And relying on expertise of like Mr. Barak, I know you've traveled a lot, so you really understand. You know, sometimes in Kenya, it may look, I think as you travel, you realize even it's bigger in other markets, even like they really don't get it much like they would do in Kenya. But even within our Kenya, there is still a very big job to be done.
CEO, Oracom Group.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Alphonce Juma.
Thank you very much. For me, I would like to bring it practical for the sake of Kenik. Yeah. Each one of us here, there's something we did when we were doing the Digital Fit Awards. We decided to give people a domain name, like a free .me.ke name as individuals. And then there's one of the people, very influential, I won't mention the name today. She was like, why would I need my own website online, like my personal website, like a .me.ke, why would I need it? And then we told her that your CV, she had just vied for, I hope you guys won't guess, for Taita Taveta governorship. And then she was like, what else? What should I do? And then we and then we say, like, you need to have your own domain. You don't need to be sending your CVs. You just need to give people your own domain name. And then she was like, okay, how much is it? We said, for the sake of this event, we'll give you a free one. And then she took up a .me.ke. Wasn't very popular, but she then asked, what will I put in that domain name after you've given it for free? Of course, they are paying for the hosting. And then we said, you know, for these big people, what they want is profiling. Like, if I attend this meeting, you know, like today, I know there'll be very good pictures that will be taken here. So I'd like to do a story about it, that I was at Hayat and I met this person. So there are those things you do. And then the next event, again, you go to them. But now the thing is, how about if you turn every event you go to as a story, and then you have a place where you profile it? So what we do at Oracom is we've built what we call a timeline tracker. A timeline tracker is what can help an individual, apart from having your own personal domains. You know, these days having a website may not be with WordPress, you can just even do it by yourself, just drag and drop. So with a timeline tracker, it helps individuals, like you people are seated here, such that you have a place, like I've seen for the speaker today, she has a website, but she doesn't have that timeline tracker. There are these things in your website that makes you want to come back to it daily. So how about if we, the registrars, we can think about things like that, and then we suggest it to this big person. Yesterday you were in this place, so there is a story about it and pictures and videos, and then you use that now to educate the public. I've seen it work a lot for politicians, especially the MPs right now. They're speaking to us to build it for them, because then if they go open a borehole somewhere, they say, we opened this. I guess it would also, somebody who can help us reach the president also, so that when he launches a project, again, it's documented in the .ke. So I think those practical solutions can really help. And for the guys who are here, maybe I'm talking for Kenik, but I would challenge you people that have your own domain name. If you're stuck, we can give you a free one. Our table is just there. Just have your own domain. Put those personal profiles. Just coming an entire of this team, all of us having our own personal domains, I think Kenik will be very happy and the numbers will be big. Yeah, your personal domain would allow you to speak about your portfolio, like the governor aspirant who didn't make it. Immediately she put this stuff online. So who am I? Nowadays she says that she doesn't need to send her CV anywhere, and she got a very big job because simply people go online. And for the majority, when people search your name, by the way, they find scandals. You know, those ones are the ones that rank high. Your story was done on the Star, on Tuko, and then it's a scandal, so it ranks high. But if you have your own personal domain, you're securing somewhere something you may not know. One day they may say you are the next cabinet secretary, so everyone will go online searching, but who are you? If you have your own personal website on a .me.ke, then you're sure. So I think that is something we can practically do if we really want to push these numbers. And I would offer myself to help anyone who wants to have that such kind of a technology in a timeline tracker, so that we get going. Thank you.
Thank you, CEO. You've had it, timeline tracker.